Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation. To the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans here in the Western Hemisphere, and to the rest scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, who look like the other nations, but through the patrilineal lineage go back to the Hebrew Israelites. Shalom. Now, there is a story that is floating out there, not saying that it is 100% true, but somewhere along the lines is that Saudi Arabia, which is a major player in this whole prophecy, you know, is cutting ties or allegedly has looked to trade in other currencies outside of the US dollar after signing a 50-year contract that ended on June the 9th of this year, 2024, which will allow them to trade in other currencies outside of the US dollar. For the longest, that was the only currency that they would trade oil in. Okay? And if they are able to now trade in other currencies outside of the US dollar, that could have a profound impact on this US economy. Okay? Because the petrodollar is tied in with the oil. Okay? So if they are now trading in other currencies, that's going to weaken the dollar. And for decades, the US dollar has been the world reserve currency. This could be indicating or, a sign of a new currency coming into play, particular a digital currency. Okay. So let's read this article and let's see if we can extrapolate anything from it. Okay. Now, this is alleged. All right. This is alleged. We're going to see how the days to come and the weeks to play out, especially leading up into October when BRICS supposed to be announcing their new currency, whether or not, Saudi Arabia is going to trade with BRICS, BRICS Alliance, okay, which is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, okay? We're going to see, all right? Now, this says Saudi Arabia ends 50-year petrodollar deal with U.S. for multi-currency sales, okay? So this is allowing them to, trade in other currencies, all right? And the BRICS currency could be a potential suitor. It says the petrodollar deal was originally signed on June 8th, 1974, and was a key part of U.S. global economic influence, right? And that's primarily, what allowed them to, hold the title of the world reserve currency, which was traded in that petrodollar. It says, in short, Saudi Arabia ends 50-year petrodollar deal with U.S. Deal allowed Saudi oil sales in U.S. dollars only. Saudi can now use other currencies like the RMB, euros, etc. So if this is to be true, now the Saudi Arabia, uh, princes, kings, or whatever you want to call them, they can now trade and deal in other currencies outside of the US dollar, all right? Which could have a profound impact on the US economy. It says Saudi Arabia has decided not to renew its 50-year petrodollar deal with the United States, which expired on Sunday, June 9th, as per media reports. This agreement, originally signed on June 8, 1974, had been a key part of U.S. global economic influence. Now, some sites say that Saudi Arabia hasn't ended it, that it's just a bunch of speculation or, dare I say, fake. You know what? And others, like this site says that, they are trading in other currencies or have the ability to trade in other currencies. Okay? So if this is said to be true, that they are trading in other currencies outside of the US dollar, then this could have a profound impact on the US economy. It says the deal set up joint commissions for economic cooperation in Saudi Arabia's military needs. Back then, American officials hoped it would encourage Saudi Arabia to produce more oil and strengthen economic ties with Arab countries. Okay? So that was the plan back then, okay? But things have changed now, all right? Now you have more of these powerhouses such as Russia and China, rising up, okay? So now Saudi Arabia is looking to, tie their allegiance or show their allegiance with these other powerhouses, okay, outside of America. Because for the longest, America stood alone by itself, okay? It was the hammer of the earth, all right? And now it's getting ready to be cut asunder, okay? So, hey, this dollar will eventually crash. Whether it's this that, brings forfeit or something else, this dollar will crash. This economy will implode on itself, all right? So if this holds up to be true, this could very much well be the beginning of this dollar, hegemony, okay? It could be coming to an end, all right? Rightfully so. It's had its time in the sun. It's basking in its glory. Now it's time for them to bring forth their new phase, okay? Which is going to be digital currency or some form of that digital currency, which is going to lead to that mark, all right? So, hey, just keep, an eye out and watch and see. We're going to see how these things play out leading up until, the election, which is in November. And prior to that, the month before October, we're going to see, this new BRICS currency, all right? So let's get a precept or two and let's take it from there. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, and let's jump down to verse 17. It says, the paper reads by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. So eventually, this economy is going to dry up, okay? And everything that comes in and goes out that made money and was able to make money off this economy will no longer be able to. This dollar will eventually implode or will crash, okay? It says 8, the fishers also shall mourn, and all they that cast angle into the brooks shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the waters shall languish. So this dollar is going to dry up and wither and crash, okay? Make no mistake about it. Whether this article is true and Saudi Arabia is no longer dealing exclusively with the US dollar, but instead is dealing with other currencies, or if it's not held up to be true, this place will implode on itself. This place will, fall, okay? This dollar will not be, the end all be all forever. They have to bring forth their next phase, okay? And in order for them to do that, this dollar has to go away with. Now, they may still, call it the dollar some kind of resemblance, but as far as the physical currency, the paperback, the greenback, that dollar that you know and love will no longer be in existence. It's going to be obsolete. Verse 8, moreover, they that work and find flax, and they that weave networks shall be confounded. Right? They're not going to be able to put a answer behind it. It's going to happen. Okay? This dollar is going to, collapse. Make no mistake about it. Okay? They're going to collapse. They're going to collapse this economy to bring forth their new world order, their new currency worldwide. Okay? It's going to be a digital currency spearheaded by that device that's going to be the size of a grain of rice that they're going to put underneath your skin. Okay? So it says, verse 9, moreover, They that work in fine flax, and they that weave networks shall be confounded, and they shall be broken in the purposes thereof. All that make sluices, and when you go into that word sluices, is hire and wages. So they that make sluices make hires and wages, and ponds for fish are going to be broken in the purposes thereof. So this dollar is not meant to hold up forever. No. Its only, purpose was to, serve as a mediator between different currencies, which, they took the dollar off the standard. I believe it's back when Ronald Reagan was in office. He took the gold standard off. And this dollar, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't backed by anything. It just became a fiat currency. Okay, there's nothing backing it, and that's what BRICS is offering. BRICS is now offering, some type of, precious metal to back their, their new currency. Whether it's cryptocurrency or whatever it is, I believe, are offering some type of metal, gold, silver, or something to actually back their currency. Because the dollar, for the longest was backed on, just the word that the U.S. had that type of, money stored in whatever facility that it was keeping it in. Okay, whether it's these banks, these institutes, or whatever. But we know, upon further research that these banks are just fractional. They only keep a portion of that money in there. Okay, so this dollar has seen, or this dollar is seeing its last days, okay? It's getting ready to be replaced. Make no mistake about it. Whether Saudi Arabia is trading in other currencies or whether something else is going to transpire to tank this economy, to bring it down, this dollar is on its last leg, okay? So it says, verse 10, and they shall be broken in the purposes thereof. All that make sluices and ponds for fish. So those that make hire and wages, they're going to be broken, okay, for the purpose thereof. This dollar is not going to last forever, man. It's going to transition into its next phase, which is digital, okay? So we just got to see how this thing is going to play out, all right? We're going to see if Saudi Arabia truly is looking to deal in other forms of currency, particularly that BRICS currency, okay? Because there's two major powerhouses that's involved. That being Russia and China, okay? Now it's said to have been that China is, coming close, if not already past, the United States in artificial intelligence, okay? The U.S. is trying to keep up with China's AI, okay? China AI is exceeding over the United States, okay? And the fact that, how they powering their AI is allowing them to, make strides way better than the United States, all right? So the United States at one point in time was the head honcho, head above the rest. Now these other countries, particular Russia and China, is catching up, if not caught up. All right. So now these other smaller countries, they have reason to join or to hitch their wagon with these other countries, these bigger countries. Okay. And BRICS is, just that. Okay. A conglomerate of different types of countries. Mainly ones that's looking to, separate themselves from the Western powers. Okay, that being America, and the other ones, okay, such as London, England, they want to do their own thing. They want to separate themselves from, the Western countries, the Western countries, okay? So this dollar, that took over the pound, is now the world reserve currency, but before then it was the British pound. Okay, so they had they had they day in the sun. Now this new currency is getting ready to come in. Okay, and cryptocurrency could very much well be that Trojan horse that bridge the physical over into the digital. All right. So we're going to see how, the petrodollar, fares in these upcoming months leading up until October when BRICS supposed to announce their new currency and even up into the election. Okay. We're going to see how these things transpire. All right. But as it sits, this could very much well be something that we keep an eye out and look for to see whether or not Saudi Arabia is looking to trade in other currencies. All right. Because, like we've been saying, this could have a profound impact on the U.S. dollar, particularly the petrodollar, because that's where most of the trades are made at, pursuant to oil, okay? It's in the petrodollar, okay? That's where Saudi Arabia does most of their dealing and willing with the petrodollar. So if they trade in other currencies, that's going to weaken the petrodollar, which is going to weaken the U.S. economy. Okay, so there's many things that are on the table to bring forth this kingdom's downfall. Okay, you got pestilence, famines. Now you got this. You got division. I mean, everything is in the works for this place to come to an end, man. So just keep, your eyes and your head on a swivel and keep circumspect. Okay. Ephesians 5:15. See that you walk circumspect, not as fools, but as wise. Let's read it. Ephesians 5:15. It says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Right. And all hell's going to break loose once this place eventually falls. Once this dollar collapses, whenever they use to bring forfeit, it's going to be a time like no other, man. America has never seen anything like this. Okay? So we praying that the Most High, speed things up, which he is, because this year is almost gone, man. Here we are in the middle of June, and, we only got a few months left. And there's a lot of things that's on the table, leading up into the election. All right. They're going to use some type of, well, I'm not going to say, but it's likely that they may use some type of, event or something like that to, postpone it or do something. So we got to be circumspect. Okay. So Ephesians 5:15 says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. All right. So just thought I'd bring that out. Seen an article a few days ago, people doing videos on it. You got bloggers and YouTubers that's doing videos on it. You got some sites that's saying it's not true. And then you got others saying that it is. So we just going to, see and, see how things transpire over the upcoming weeks and months. All right. So let's go ahead and close out 1 Peter 5:8. And it reads, be sober. That's what we read in Ephesians 5, be circumspect, keep watching, keep looking, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Okay. So one day you may wake up and you may hear the dollar is crashing, get your money out of the banks for what? It ain't going to do you no good. It's going to be too late. Okay? You got to trust in Yahweh. Okay? This is what we putting our trust in. We're not putting our faith and trust in, running to the banks and getting our last little bit of money out before the system crash. We're not putting our trust in this system, man. We putting our trust in Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? That's where our faith lies at. Okay? While these other people, they may put their trust and faith in this system. And when they get that news or that alert on their phone, it's going to shake them and rock their foundation. But us, those of us that are in the truth, we waiting for this. Okay? Matter of fact, we hasten the day of the Lord. Okay? So when this happens, we're going to be ready. We're going to be prepared. Why? Because the time that we are allotted right now, we're making the most of it. Okay? We're building up our faith in our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai. Okay? While these other people are out and about in the world and just, being carried away with the mirth of this place, hey, when the lights go off, they're going to be left in darkness, all right? So be sober, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Trust me, and when he pull the plug on this place, he's going to catch a lot. Okay? He's going to catch a lot, but he's not going to get the elect. Okay? He's not going to get the elect. All right? So with that being said, I pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.